There you go. So now it's working, Dad.
Good.
So what do you got to say to the world out there, Dad?
Well, I can say this is a wonderful Easter Sunday because a few months ago I was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I've been taking radiation, which 28 weeks of it. No, 28 days, and I'm finished over at MD Anderson. There's a bunch of wonderful, wonderful people over there. They treat you with dignity if you let them. And I get along because I gave them some of my cards and tell them corny jokes, and
Yeah.
we had a good time.
All right, Papa.
Now I am taking chemo over at Crest. The first two I took made me terrible sick, which I thought was a chemo, but it wasn't. What happened, the doctor had put a stent in my bile tube because there was something wrong with it. It was twisted or bent.
Oh, no.
And it slipped and an infection set in.
Oh, I didn't know that, Dad.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you'd drop around once in a while, you'd find out these things.
Well, I do drop around.
Yeah, getting after my son, and I'm still going to, even if he gets as old as I am.
Well, how about all your other sons? You get after them, too?
Every chance I get.
Oh, okay.
Every chance I get.
I know.
And so they took that old stent out, put a new one in. It's metal. It took me a while to get all that stuff out of my system.
So did your aloe vera clear out?
The other day it cleaned out.
Oh, okay. Good, Dad.
Now I've been praying about this. I'm a religious guy. I don't know about a lot of people, but they're saying that religion is dropping in the United States, and I say it is not. It is climbing.
Yeah.
So it all depends on who you're talking to, a Christian or an atheist.
Yeah, that's true, Papa.
And so the other night I was laying there sick, and I prayed God to take this thing out of me. I woke up next morning feeling fine.
Yeah. Well, good thing, Dad.
Another weird thing happened. I was sitting here in this chair thinking, Mom, I wish you would get up and get me some breakfast.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes, Mom Twin says, did you call me?
Oh, yeah?
Now you figure that one out.
Well, you guys have been ESP'd to your hip for 60 years, each other's hip, so...
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Or is it God, when the Holy Spirit got in there and tell her to get in here and talk to me?
Yeah, that could be true, too.
I was just thinking
What?
about my life. Before I was born, my mama told me that she lived in Niagara Falls with Dad. I was about 3, and I told her that I picked them out to be my parents because I was flying around in a shoebox pulled by 2 crows. I was looking for some parents. And I flying around, I looked down, I saw them. I said, hey, that's my parents. And so we went down, and sure enough, they were my parents.
Yeah.
And then I would guess I was about 7, maybe 6. We still lived in Pennsylvania. I can't remember the town. But back then, jobs were hard to get. My dad was an architect, and he'd done everything to keep going. I was double pneumonia, lived in a house and upstairs. I was up there, and I forget whether Dad or Mom was there watching me. They took turns. said, there's a bunch of people downstairs praying for me. And they said, yes. And I named every one of them and told them exactly where they were sitting. They went down and looked, and yes, they were. And I said, well, how'd you know it? I said, I got out of my body, floated face down over they were sitting, and saw them down there. Went back into my body, and I told you that. Now that's weird, but
Yeah.
it's the truth.
Well, I ain't doubting your dad.
Like I say, I have had strange things happen in my life,
Yep.
and I enjoyed every minute of it.
Okay. Yeah, you cross-countryed with Grandpa, didn't you? Before you
What?
got here to New Mexico?
What?
You cross-countryed with Grandpa before you got here to New Mexico.
I did?
Well, you said you went from New York to Florida, and
Oh, yeah. Well, all that was up and down the East Coast.
yeah, with no highways. And flooded
No
roads.
highways.
Yeah.
I remember one time we was going from Florida back to Pennsylvania with my Uncle Frank Collin.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. It was Uncle Frank. I guess his name was Walker because it was my dad's brother and his wife. And there were two girls. There was Mom, Dad, me, and Jack, and an old Studebaker touring. It took us better than 2 weeks to make it because 90% of the roads outside of the city were not roads. They were cleared paths with ruts in them. 2 ruts. You'd be going on these 2 ruts, and here come a car on the other down. So you had to jump your car out, usually keep your left wheels in your rut, and they would keep their left wheel, pass each other, and then bounce back in.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no shocks back in them cars, no?
Oh, yeah, they were shocks, but they were primitive.
A big old leaf spring, you know?
Yeah, big old leaf springs. And they're all what you'd call standard transmissions now. You shifted. We was up in Kentucky. We had a blowout. We would average a blowout every 3 days.
Yeah.
We had 4 tires on the back of this. Old clincher rims. If you don't know what they are, ask somebody that's been around a while and they'll tell you. Nowadays they use drop center. Anyhow, we had a flat tire. Stopped Uncle Frank and Dad out and changed it. I got up the stretch, we all did, and happened to look up and there were some people standing there. If you can remember the cartoon Barney Google, well, that's who they looked like. Old mountaineers, had them long rifles. They were standing there about 8 feet away, all looking at them, men and women, kids. When we were done, they put the wheel up on the hub, and I looked around, gone. I'm quite sure they all thought we could have been revenuers, but we weren't. So I had a very, very exciting life in my 96 years of living.
Well, you got a few. I thought it was going to be 120.
No, yeah, I'm going to be 120 and shoved by a jealous husband.
Okay. Well,
If you believe that, you believe the moon's made out of green cheese.
Very
So
true,
what I
Papa.
want to do is make 100.
Okay, well, you got 3 more to go after this year.
Yeah, and then I'll work on the rest of my life.
Yeah. Then it's going to start fresh and new, huh?
Yeah, now some people, when they get old, they want to die. I don't. I'm nosy. I want to find out next. And this government is a mess. What I would like to see is Huckabee, President of the United States, that Governor of Alaska, Vice President,
Who, that lady?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
And,
Dad, you're losing it for sure now.
well, this is my idea of good
Okay,
government.
okay, all right. What's your idea?
My son over here, he's one of them weird people. He's a Democrat. I'm a Republican.
Okay, well, that's fine, Dad.
And we discuss it. We do not cuss it. I do not use profanity. Anyhow, have Hannity is Secretary of State, that commentator from Florida, let him represent, he'd be the president, representative one, and gets up and talks to people, you know, whatever, what do you call that guy that's on TV that gets up and talks for the president to the press?
Oh, I have no idea, Dad.
Anyhow, he does that. And have O'Reilly for Secretary of State.
Boy, Dad, you're just going to have one big...
Whoa, man.
You're going to have like a cartoon going on there.
I'll tell you something.
Sounds like the Republicans, it's a cartoon to them.
I'm telling you something. They would get things done. They would not pussyfoot around.
Yeah, but they have
Because
the
all
Congress,
three
they
of
have
them-
the House, they have all them other people they got to deal with.
I'm telling you something.
Okay,
Things would get done.
all right.
And now that's my idea. And I'm quite sure there's a few more like it. And some not.
Yeah.
But God bless you all. And like I say, stay out of trouble and have fun. If you can do both of them at the same time, you're pretty good.
Yeah, that's right, Papa. Are we done for now?
Yeah.